Hey now, people. It's Thursday and good old Blackie is back. For a long time, it was a blue sweater. I wore that until it completely unraveled like this one is. I wore that one until there's videos of me wearing it years ago where I just loved that sweater. I had a yellow one too. Isn't that funny? Or you guys like that too, where you had favorite items of clothing? I kept the yellow sweater long after I could wear it. And then I finally just said, this is kind of stupid to me. Donate it. How you doing? It's Thursday, the 11th of January. I'm up a little later. It's so cold right now, 9:29. I just got up. It's 9 degrees here in Omaha. And it snowed again last night. So once again, I have to shovel and clear things before I can leave the property. And I am in good shape regarding like if I got snowed in supplies, I'm okay there. But I want to get those records in the mail, and like anybody else, you look at the weather and it's like, well, I just want to make sure that I got myself covered. So anyway, I just woke up, so we'll see. I have to uncover the car, and then we'll see how slick it is because it. Looking at my car, we got another couple of inches last night. We're supposed to get more tonight, so I need to probably act on that. Cheers. I want to thank you folks. Literally, I want to thank you for the exchange. I appreciate hearing back from you folks who share your concerns. I also appreciate that I haven't been bothered with any immature, um, snarky bullshit, because that's what I'm here to do, is to call out the absolutely insane, immature, um, lopsided behavior of people who have money, politicians, um, white people who think they're entitled, other people of different nationalities who have a lot of money and are doing a whole lot of nothing with it worth a fuck. Because it's just real clear to me that we have devolved so much that people get away with acting like children. We're supposed to be adults. Okay, so that's where I'm at with that. I know you like for me to share music, and so I only have a couple things to share, and I may go from there, or I may leave it with the two things that I played yesterday. Yesterday, I worked on my studio. I haven't figured out why, but my interface connection, which I'm using, is noisy. I got it to work fine yesterday. I actually recorded some vocals, not to release, but mm, just to work in that with that, because I'm during the session when James and Blake were here. I played a couple of tracks where James said, "Well, you ought to sing on this. You ought to do this like the old days when you sang." I said, "I'll be honest with you, James. I do not want to sing. I don't want to sing." I said, "Do you want to sing? Do you hear vocals? You want to take this?" He said, "Yeah." So let me see. But anyway, as I was playing around in the studio yesterday with different plugins and stuff, and my voice in the microphone, and I made a CD and listened back last night. Yeah, I am not really that interested in hearing my voice. Maybe that's selfish, but I make the music because I'm going to listen to it. I know I'm going to listen to it, okay? If I was trying to make hit records for everybody else, it would be different. I'd be trying to sing. I don't want to sing. Can I sing? Yeah. Boy, that coffee's good this morning. So as I sit here, I see just a little bit of sun poking out, and I noticed that my neighbors right next to me, they only dug out one vehicle. They have a bunch of vehicles. I wonder if they'll dig out today. So, okay, some music. Yesterday, I played a lot of this CD. This room, which is my favorite room in the house, besides my bed, sleeping. I love sleeping. These glasses are so funky. If I go to the store, I'll be buying another pair. But I'll sit here and sometimes look over at the CDs because I don't play them much, but they're a dedicated collection. And sometimes a spine will kind of poke out and say, okay, play me. And this one has been doing it for a couple of days, so I finally pulled it yesterday. The spine, which is nothing, but it's just a spine, and yet I'll be sitting up here and I'll look over, and that'll be the one that I keep seeing. So I played this yesterday. Andy Milne, Forward to Get Back. Don't know this fella's background. I bought this years ago when I was buying a bunch of stuff for $1 a piece from Homer's. So this goes back to the 80s, I think, like 1987. Let me get my peeper here. Come on, where is it? 1987? I'll be damned. This is good. This is good. That's just, Okay, so the date is on here somewhere. And now that I'm looking, it's like, what? There it is, 1997. So, yeah, in the 90s, for a while, I was really focused on CDs and was barely playing these records and was buying. If you could see the rest of the house, you'd see I have a lot of CDs. Like that guy, Alessandro, you said you watched the video. Some guy, I think he's in England, and he showed this one wall where it's like double or triple stacked all the way to the ceiling of CDs. It's not that bad. Well, the closets are. This is jazz, just really awesome. Steve Coleman is a name you might know on here. Maybe some of you other folks know these people. Well, Reggie Washington is another name I know. And Matthew Garrison. This is very good. Andy Milne plays piano and synthesizer. And it's there's a modern slant. There's a black awareness slant. There's some vocals on here. But it's really fresh. That's 97, and it's like, oh, this is really good. And again, it makes me think about the fact that there's a fair amount of record collecting and that is in a way kind of like window shopping. It's like, ooh, that's a pretty item. I'll get that. And there's also the other thing where I've been guilty of it, of chasing what everybody else is doing. Oh, this is the hot item. I got to get that. Oh, this is the trend, And people don't listen. So what I'm saying is if you're going to get you jazzers, and I know there's jazz folks who watch me, there's one for you. I bet you don't know about it. If you do, tell me. Is this in anyone else's collection that watches me? I'd be curious to know. Yesterday when I pulled and played records, this one I meant to show it and somehow I overlooked it. But a few days ago, I played this all the way. Maybe I did play this, but I'm going to talk about it again. I can't remember. This is Visible Cloaks with a thing called Lex. I love stuff like this. This is to me, this is modern impressionistic music. How they would describe stuff like Debussy and Ravel, rather than it being Baroque or or whatever some of those other the descriptions of classical music are. This strikes me kind of like the impressionistic, because that's some of my favorite. It's electronic, and it's like I really like this. It's hard to describe. It's like it can be capturing my interest for a few seconds, and then the next minute it'll just be like burbling along, and it'll fade into the background until something else happens, and it brings it back to the forefront. Love stuff like that. Visible cloaks. I also caught some video. I think that's where I first encountered that. Seen some cool visuals. I love good visuals. The other thing that I did yesterday, because I don't mind sharing like Dear Diary, ain't nobody doing nothing too heavy besides checking on the news and seeing that Christie has dropped out, and just the worthless talk in politics. I watched a documentary on foot pedals, the pedal movie. I didn't know it was out. It's been online for 2 years now. I watched that, and then I watched after that the story of Ross Pedals. Great, great informative documentaries. Now, what's interesting is I have some pedals, but in general, I have never been much of a pedal user. As a bass player, only occasionally in Dreama did I use a fuzz. When I was playing guitar in my band, I had the Dereck Higgins band. I played mainly guitar. I used pedals. But the development of that technology and the roots of it was an awesome story, because they took it all the way back to the first mechanical pedal used in music, which is the piano pedal. Really enjoyed that. And I have a couple of them. I have a MXR. I wish I had a Memory Man. My friend John Tingle from Digital Sex used a Memory Man on our album, the Digital Sex album. The Memory Man is, for those who know the sound of the Memory Man, it's all over the Digital Sex Essence album on John Tingle's playing. I also play guitar on the Digital Sex album, but I only used rack effects on the guitar. I didn't use his Memory Man. So winter is here, and it's supposed to get sub-zero this weekend, and this weekend is when we're supposed to try to redo the video shoot. We'll see how that affects it. Okay, so yesterday was a noisy day, earwise. Today is a noisy day, unfortunately. Will I work on music anyway? Yeah, or whatever I'm doing it anyway. It's just that the tinnitus is at the level where you can't ignore it. You folks know what I'm talking about. And I just have to take it as it comes. I can never predict, So here we are. So let me talk about something else, okay? One thing I have noticed, and it's gotten more blatant, is when people die, the records go up in value almost immediately on Discogs now. I've noticed that. Looking at some Sakamoto titles. Les McCann just died. I have the album Layers. Interesting about that price. So I just pulled it. Here's one where it originally came out on Vertigo. So the Vertigos are the ones that are really pricey. But this is May Blitz Hard Rock. This is taped necessarily because I inherited this from my friend, I'll say his whole name, Paul Cuevas. His daughter is still a friend of mine, and she's very dear to me. Paul and I were very close. We had a falling out over drugs for years, where I was trying to get sober off of cocaine, and it was like maybe 5 years, I wouldn't have anything to do with Paul. When we reconnected, it was joyous because I loved the man, and I was one of the last people to see him before he died from cancer. I inherited these records from him, and his cats just tore them up at the top. And, he was at this point out of it in his life. So it just happened, and he was just too sick. But anyway, he willed part of his collection to me, not the whole collection. There was one other friend who I happen to know who got first dibs. But this was left, and I got it. This is hard rock in the vein of Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin. Tony Newman. Tony Newman is one of the players on here, and I know him from other stuff. Yeah, the drummer. I'd have to look him up right now. This is a good album, though. Thankfully, the album itself is in excellent shape. It's really could be considered mint, pretty much. Very good plus. That's a pull for you. I don't think I'm going to be playing this. I'm just showing it. And the backstory behind it. Here's one. Here's a jazz album for you guys. And an impulse title. Once again, anybody else watching today, do you have this album? Rolf and Joachim Kuhn Quartet, featuring Jimmy Garrison and Aldo Romano, Impressions of New York. Joachim Kuhn was the beginning of my... Let's just do this. Yeah. Joachim Kuhn was the beginning of my actual collection. Either this one or the other one of his on BIG was the first one that I can remember finding back when these were all cut out, and you could find them super cheap. And this is free jazz, and he's close to Cecil Taylor, really intense. So I found this ages ago. I've had this album maybe 30, 40 years, and it's just Impressions of New York. It's actually quite good. You can see with the mold down there that is almost unavoidable, no matter how, well you preserve your records. Here's one. I might bother to play these now that they're out, but just decided to just, let me show you some records. There's a couple. Been in the collection for a while now. Let's do one more, okay? Pardon my goofy glasses. I am hard on stuff. I am. What else do we got here? Well. Let's go over here. I could just, man. Okay, let's go here. Is it this one? Yeah, let's do another one more. I like the cover a lot. Oh, there it is. Pardon me, folks. Pardon me. So here's someone who I ended up becoming chatty with on Facebook. I think he's gone from Facebook now. Brad Lehner from Medicine, an American shoegaze. They weren't shoegaze, but in a way they were. They adopted that My Bloody Valentine approach to guitars, but then did more besides that. To the Happy Few. Isn't that a sweet cover? I have a couple of their albums. I like them all. And they do this one record. They have this one song where they do a Beatles. If I Fell in Love. Yeah, they do the If I Fell in Love. They incorporate that in a spooky way in the song. It's like, ooh, whoa. Isn't that a beautiful cover? Good band if you don't know Medicine. All right. Well, let's leave it there for now. 20 minutes is coming up. Let me finish this cup of coffee and throw on my shoes and go out and see, because I probably ought to get in the car and try and go to the post office and maybe go to the store before the next snow. People, please share your thoughts with me. Civilly, which I'm saying again, I'm really thankful that the last few videos there has not been unnecessary, immature snark from folks who have problems. We have big problems in this country right now, and politics is one of the biggest problems. Those people are not acting like mature adults, very selfish, very childish, very destructive, and it just goes on and on. And I am flabbergasted that the general level of intelligence of our nation is such that this goes on and most people don't seem to notice. As a nation, are we really that numb? And I say yes, we are, partially because people have been dumbed down so badly because of technology that a lot of people view the world as though they're watching a TV show, especially politics. People don't engage. They just change the channel or tune into the one where they're saying what I want to hear. So destructive. So destructive. Okay. Have a good day.